Hi, my name is Edgar. I am from Lleida. Today we're gonna make a cheesecake, Spanish style. Basque cheesecake. You know, Spanish cuisine is very regional, so you can find variations of dishes depending on where you are. And the version we're gonna make today, it has a dough, which the traditional one doesn't. And we're also gonna add a little bit of blue cheese on the cheesecake mix. So the first thing we are gonna do is we are gonna preheat the oven at 180 degrees. It's gonna heat while we prepare the dough. We have all the ingredients we're gonna use for the dough here. We have some butter, which is already at room temperature, so it's not hard. We have egg whites, we have some salt, and we have the flour. The first thing we're gonna do is to sieve the flour. We are gonna make sure in the flour we don't have like big chunks or big pieces or anything like that. So I'm gonna do it slowly in 2 times. So I'm gonna get all the flour sieved, and we are using cake flour here. The reason why we use cake flour is it has a more fine texture, and also it has lower gluten content. We got the flour, we're gonna got the rest of solids, the rest of powders, sugar and salt. We're gonna mix it. I'm gonna add egg whites and butter. And we're gonna slowly mix it until we got everything integrated. This is almost integrated, and now I'm gonna finish it with my hand. And it's a dough where you don't see the flour in one side, the sugar in the other side, or the butter in the other side. Everything is integrated. Everything seems to have the same texture everywhere. So this means the dough is ready. It's very soft dough because it has a lot of butter, easy to manipulate. And now what I'm gonna do is just put the dough in plastic film, and we're gonna leave this in the fridge to rest for 2 to 4 hours. So we got already the dough, which has been resting for a while in the fridge. Add a bit of flour so I can work it better. And I'm gonna make it thin around 3 millimeters. 4 millimeters is the size I want to be the base of my cheesecake. You don't need to follow exactly the size I am doing. You need to follow the size of the mold you will be using to make your cheesecake at home. Check with your hand, make sure it's equally thick. We got the dough ready, and before we put it on the mold, we are gonna make the mold non-sticky. You can buy in your pastry shop or in your supermarket some spray. We're gonna do old school way and just spread all around the mold. And now we go to the sides to do the same, exactly the same thing. In Spanish we call this action camisar. Camisar is the adding a thin layer of butter and flour to a mold to avoid whatever you're gonna bake on it to stick on it. So now we're gonna add a bit of flour. Okay, mold ready, flour and butter ready, dough ready. Now we're gonna put it here. This is a bit the tricky part. It depends which kind of mold you use. I suggest you to have a mold that the bottom can be removed. It's gonna be much easier for you later to take out the cake from the mold. This is difficult, but don't worry, I will show you later how you can use, if it breaks a little bit, you can use corners to fill the holes, okay? So basically what we're gonna do is go over the mold and carefully remove the baking paper. With this, we are gonna fill the gaps that you see have been created. Make sure we have a nice base. So now we got our dough covering the whole mold and it's ready to go into the oven. We're gonna put you 6 to 8 minutes at 180 degrees. We don't want it fully cooked, just a pre-coction before we add the cream on top. So now the crust is ready and we're gonna make the cream. We're gonna use cream cheese. Into this cream cheese we are gonna use blue cheese. This is our version. In our restaurant we use Valdeón because it's a Spanish blue cheese. You can use Roquefort, eggs, sugar and cream. And the process is really simple. We are gonna put everything into a blender. You can do this mix with a hand blender, with a tall blender, with the ones people use to make smoothies. Anything that is gonna blend your ingredients, it works. So, cream, sugar, the eggs, the cream cheese, and what is gonna give some personality into this cheesecake is the blue cheese. And now we're just gonna blend it for around 3 minutes, full power, until we get a smooth cream where you don't see different components on it. So now we already blended. Now is a good moment you can just try a little bit and check the balance of the blue cheese, if in case you like the blue cheese. Now is a good moment to see if the blue cheese is gonna be very intense or less, and you still can adjust. You can just add a little bit more. Once you are happy with it, I'm happy with this one, we're just gonna put it on the dough. Cheesecake is ready. What we're gonna do now, I'm gonna bake it for 6 minutes at 240 degrees, full power of the oven. Now we have our cheesecake already done. You see this dark color here. This is actually the signature thing of this kind of Basque cheesecake. It's meant to be a little bit burnt on the corners. That's why it's called Spanish burnt cheesecake, but it's also meant to be almost raw, very creamy on the center. How we achieve this is having the oven at high temperature and cooking the cake very quick, like for 5-6 minutes. This is our Spanish cheesecake with blue cheese.